early Tuesday morning in September, people woke to the safety of their homes. Little they know that their lives would never be the same. As quoted from the Encyclopedia Britannica, the deadliest terrorist attack on American soil in U.S. history was about to begin. I recently visited the Flight 93 Memorial and was remembering this tragic day in history. This is why I chose to learn more about 9/11 and share it with you. We will see America awakens to a new, serious terrorist threat at home and respond with unity as a nation throughout this speech. As a preview, we start with Americans feeling safe at home pre-9/11. We'll learn about the terrorists' dedication and willingness to sacrifice their lives for their cause. Knowing the hijackers' intentions matters to the outcomes, and we'll learn about the American response. To begin, let's take a journey back in history to a Tuesday morning in September, and the preparations that occurred to lead to that fateful day. Before September 11th, as I said, Americans felt the innocence of peace and safety at home, since terrorist attacks primarily were in foreign countries. Unbeknownst to them, the enemy had entered its borders and was plotting within. Terrorists came to America as early as 1999. Per the History.com article, they trained at American commercial flight schools. Our enemies orchestrated carefully, taking over multiple cross-country flights at the same time to benefit from the element of surprise, and to ensure maximum fuel was on board for the greatest destruction. I've discussed the preparation, time, and detailed attack plan the terrorists implemented. Now I will describe the events of September 11th, starting with the first 3 planes that crashed into their targets. These terrorists were dedicated and committed to their mission, valuing it above their own lives, and found success this dreadful day. Here's an illustration of each plane leaving. Here's the first 2 planes that left from Boston and were hijacked and taken to the Twin Towers in New York. The third plane left from DC and was then crashed into the Pentagon, and the last plane, Flight 93, left from Newark and crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. Now that we've learned the fate of the plane, let's show a short clip of the second plane hitting the South Tower. That was really horrific and hard to watch. Many of the planes hit their targets, and the towers would eventually collapse. There was a difference in the element of surprise with Flight 93. Not knowing the intentions of hijackers impacts response and outcome. Flight 93 was the last flight in the sequence, noted in History.com article occurred because the plane had been delayed in taking off. Passengers started to receive phone calls about the 2 planes that were hijacked and crashed into the World Trade Center. Thomas Bernay Jr. in the History.com article was quoted saying, "I know we're all going to die. There's 3 of us who are going to do something about it. I love you, honey." And they fought back and were able to stop the hijackers. Flight 93 crashed into a field, missing the desired target and causing the magnitude of casualties to be greatly reduced. The terrorists had failed their mission. Just as heroics transpired on Flight 93, many rose to the occasion in the aftermath of these attacks. First responders rushed into New York and Arlington and saved lives. America united to overcome tragedy. People across the country put differences aside and came together as the nation with much of the world behind us. Encyclopedia Britannica article, President George W. Bush stated just days after the tragedy, "I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear from all of us soon." We learned many lessons from 9/11 and are committed to never forgetting this tragedy. Recently, when President Biden's Washington Post article expressed sentiments of how 9/11 had united the country, and he said that the moment represented America at its best, he called such unity our greatest strength. To sum up, September 11th was a national tragedy where Americans were attacked at home by terrorists who hated America and wanted to take as many lives as possible. In conclusion, Americans woke up to the enemy within our borders and abroad post 9/11. These terrorists were patient, insidious, hidden, and willing to die for their cause. The plan to attack multiple planes so close together in timing to maintain the element of surprise was an effective one, but ultimately failed when Flight 93 was delayed. As the passengers learned the motives of their assailants and fought back to protect themselves and others. Just as all of America united to overcome great tragedy and save as many lives as possible and move forward with resilience and life lessons not to underestimate our enemies. America awoke to a new serious terrorist threat at home and responds with unity as a nation. Americans are resilient and will fight to protect their freedoms and each other. We will never forget the lessons learned from 9/11, captured by a quote by Virgil Anid, located in the New York Memorial. No day shall erase you from the memory of time. Thank you.